We've been building AI agents wrong, so it's time we build it right with Pydantic Agent Framework. In this video, I'm going to show you very beginner way how you can build your first streaming AI chatbot with Pydantic Agent Framework, and we're going to be using our developer Claude to code it up. And Pydantic Agent is a game changer because it takes the complexity out of building AI agents. So if you're a developer who's been frustrated with limited chatbot frameworks or trying to piece together complex, cobbled up systems, this video is specifically for you. Now, Pydantic Agent is a game changer because it's using the same validation layer that's being used by OpenAI, Anthropic, and LangChain SDKs. So we can go directly to the source of validation, which is Pydantic, now that they have their own agent framework. Now, before we dive in, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe if you want more videos of AI agent development, tutorials like this one, and stick around until the end. I'll share a special link to grab the complete source code plus some bonus tools, which I'm going to share throughout the video. Now, you must be wondering, Imtiaz, what the heck is vibe coding? Do I need to put on my glasses to start coding? Not exactly. You're going to be talking to an AI developer, Claude, so that Claude does all the grunt work while we focus on understanding the architecture and concepts. This is how AI agent development is in 2025, focusing on the big picture while AI handles the repetitive parts. So let's crack into this. To get started, first and foremost, you have a bunch of examples provided by Pydantic AI. So you have chat app with fast API. This is the one we're going to use. It's going to look like this, a streaming chatbot, something similar to Claude or ChatGPT, etc. And it's going to be all Python based. You have a Python backend and a Python front end. So the front end, this website, and the back end is basically the application that sends and receives messages, right? So that is all done through this application. And the great thing with Pydantic is they provide you this code. So they have the chatapp.py. This is your Python code. And then you have chatapp.html. This is the front end HTML code. HTML is basically all the websites and everything is written in HTML. So as you can see, this gives you a really powerful canvas to build your chat applications on top of. It's code native, so that means you can give it to your AI coder to customize it, add colors, add different kinds of customizations, maybe some images, maybe change the fonts. This right now is very boring. Now we see you can adapt it to whatever use case you think of. Now, Pydantic has provided some code here. If you want to just install the examples, all these examples provided by Pydantic, some of the ones that I found really helpful was the weather agent and the bank support agent, the flight booking agent. These are all cool. So check it out. I might make a video on these examples, just going through them one by one so that you have an idea how to run them on your end. We're going to go back to the chat app with fast API. We're going to use a coding environment called Replit. Replit is designed for non-coders. As you can see, it has an assistant. It has an agent that can do all the coding for you. But however, if you do want control, you have the option to deploy, push to GitHub, add to database. You can code yourself if you want. You can attach cursor to it. I like that control and flexibility rather than having a complete AI coder take control of everything, right? So Replit is meant for non-coder, even though it looks a little bit complex, but trust me, once you get familiar with the interface and start using it, you will find how easy it is to click and deploy, push to GitHub, like just clicking, and just maybe talking to the agent or the assistant. The great thing is it has templates, so you can start with a Python template. You can keep it to private. Doesn't matter the name you put it. It could be anything. And later on, you can always change it. So we're going to create the app. And on this panel right here, you're going to see the assistant. At any time you want the assistant, kind of like cursor, you want it to start doing changes, you can talk to it and then it will start understanding the problem, look at the code base, and then make the changes. I like to keep it off until I really need it. So that's this and this. So that's good. And I also recommend you do the same because this is going to give you a really good learning. And this is going to challenge you to learn some Python fundamentals or just handling code here and there. Okay, some foundational is still important. Some foundational understanding is still important. So on the left, you'll see the directory. We have a main.py file. So we are going to go ahead and copy over that Python file right here, paste it. Actually, you know what? We're going to paste it to Claude. It's really important how you sequence your workflow, because instead of us hard coding it, we'll let Claude figure things out. So we'll go to Claude, and you can start a new thread in Claude, or you can just use a project like I did. With the project, you can add additional knowledge or memory. So the project is fine-tuned with some pre-existing knowledge base. And the knowledge base I used was the Pydantic documentation. Pydantic is so new that most LM models are not trained on this data. So you'd have to crawl it. I'm going to put a video right here that will show you how you can crawl the website. And once you crawl it, you're going to get the document. You can just paste it here, or you can just manually copy and paste some of these elements, especially the agent stuff, which is pretty new here, the documentation. You can copy it, paste it over to the project, and it should be up and running. So when I'm talking to Claude, I'm going to give some context. I'm using Replit. I want to create a simple chat streaming chatbot with Pydantic. Okay. You could do this. You can just take the whole code right here, paste it. Boom. It already knows what you need to do. And then you can say, give me the main.py file and index.html. And tell me if I need to install anything. Okay. So understand main.py file is the backend and index.html is the front end. Doesn't matter what name you put. This is just a standard practice for a simple application. You have a main.py and an index.html. All right. So Claude is going to take care of the rest. It's going to give us the code. Since it's already trained on Pydantic's knowledge base, it's going to give us the most up-to-date code, as well as take the code that I provided, right? So it has given us some things to install here. We're going to copy this. While it's still working on the code, I'm going to go back to my application, go open up Shell, and then we're going to paste it. Okay, this is going to install some of the libraries, packages. So if you're making cake, these are probably a butter, sugar, oil, whatever, right? So we need to install this so it is available for us to use. So we're going to start copy pasting main.py, copy, and boom, let's paste it. We're going to open up a new file called index.html. We're going to paste this. Okay, we're going to go ahead and click this big green button right here. So it's going to run it. So immediately you're going to see this error message. It's not necessarily an error message, just like telling you what to do. The next steps is put in your API key. So we are going to create our secret API key. We're going to put it under secrets, new secret, add secret. We'll run this again. Okay, so there is another warning message. So we're just going to install this as instructed right here. The great thing with the Pydantic warning messages, it's very easy to read. For some reason, they made it so easy and non-technical, so you can kind of follow step by step. And even if you don't follow it, your assistant or your agent who's doing AI coding, then take these messages and know what to do in the next step. Okay, so now it's running. When you see this big white screen, that means that it's ready to rock and roll. And you see it under web view. Now you can always click this to expand this. Okay, so Pydantic AI chatbot is ready. I could say hello. What can you do? Okay, so this is great. This is somewhat customized with the colors and all that kind of stuff. It has the time aspect here, which I also like. Now you can add additional elements. This is native. This is code native, and we can take this anywhere we want. Now, since Claude also has access to what I'm trying to do, so now I just need to completely talk to Claude, anything what I need to do. So let's observe what we need to do. Perhaps let's just say I don't like the color. Perhaps I want to copy the colors from another website. By the way, this is a Present AI. This is a AI agent application I just created with Claude with the custom chatbot. Now, if you want, you could always take a screenshot and tell Claude what kind of color schema you're looking for, right? So you can take a screenshot and then you can go to Claude and and do this and say, I want the interface to be more aesthetic and use these colors as inspiration. Give me the updated index.html file. So the reason why I just want the index.html file, which is a front end file, because the back end, I want the core logic to be the same. The core logic doesn't need to change. The only thing that needs to change is the interface. And I think that is really amazing what you can do, because now your Python chatbots will look like Node.js with just a few lines of code. And you can use JavaScript on the front. You can use HTML, CSS. Now you have to know these terms, right? What I'm telling you, this might be a little bit like foreign, or like, what is these terms? You're not necessarily coding. You're just necessarily talking to Claude in a way that it understands how you want to build this. Now you could also say like, hey, create a browser agent to browse all the coding terminology, create another coding agent, do an agent to do that agent, another agent. It's like Inception. Like, you can keep on adding these loops. But if you just forget all that and just simply, if you just learn the glossary of terms to talk to your AI developer, you're going to be all good, because it just understands what you're trying to do. So it's really important to understand these terms. So if you go to my school community, I'm going to have a lot of resources for you to start implementing it. And then we also have a chatbot files. So we break down what is a chatbot, what is an agent. So I know there's a lot of miscommunication in the current space. We'll also have some tools and GPTs for you, including the slide maker GPT, which I use to create the slides, right? So you can create the slides yourself just in a couple of seconds. There's also the Pydantic knowledge base GPT. You can, it's trained on all Pydantic documentation. You can also get the GPT, use it for free. There's also social media automation copilot. This is going to create posts, schedule, and augment your workflow. So you can train it to do social media posts in your style and schedule it off, create your content calendar and all that. So you can try it out and enhance your workflow. I'm going to put all the links in the resources so you can check it out and start learning today. So let's go back to our coder tool. So we got this code. So we're just going to copy this, go back to index.html. We're just going to paste this and we're going to run this. All right, so the chatbot is now ready. And check this out. It copied exactly the thing I provided, and it gave me this. Powered by Pydantic AI 2025. Hello. What can you do? Tell me a joke. Okay, see how easy and simple it is to create your first chatbot using Pydantic agent framework. Now, of course, another thing to pay attention, this is a temporary server. You can always deploy this so it runs all the time. And yeah, this is amazing. We built an impressive streaming chatbot with Pydantic AI. So let's talk about how you can take this further and potentially monetize your skills. Here are some business applications. So here's some business applications you could do. You could use customer support automation. You could do content creation. You could do education. You could create industry-specific assistance, develop agents for legal, medical, or financial advice with appropriate disclaimers, of course. Well, headlines obsess over AI and all this kind of stuff. Bolt, Lovable, all these people, they're very new and they're coming up with true AI agent systems, autonomous agents, things that can continuously learn and grow and develop. None of that mainstream stuff they're trying to push down your throat. So if you're laser focused, build your agents with this new model, just pick a niche and then get after it. there's tons of opportunities. Okay, the big companies, they're not going to create this master agent that's going to do everything or this master algorithm. Now it's time for us to roll up our sleeves and get to work. So to wrap up, we created our front end web interface using HTML. We created our server, which is the fast API that connects with our chatbot, Pydantic AI agent that processes all the requests, and the AI model that generates the response. In this case, we use OpenAI model. You can use Claude, we can use DeepSeek, any other models. Now, the key advantage of using Pydantic AI is that it's built on solid foundations by the Pydantic team. This means your application will be more maintainable and scalable as you grow. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and also the notification bell for more advanced AI development content. And drop a comment about what you're building with Pydantic agents. I love to see your creations. And as promised, here's a link to this Replit template so you can remix it, repurpose it for your use case. So again, don't follow the crowd, don't follow the hype. Build something real, build something valuable, build something that truly augments human potential. And if you're ready, cook the silly chatbots and unleash the full potential of your AI agents.